In this video we're going to be demonstrating how to make the Lop and Dop herbicide applicator. It's a simple tool using a standard lopper with a herbicide applicator attached. The first step is simply to cut the plants with the lopper, and then the herbicide applicator is used to apply herbicide to the cut stems. So this is the applicator, the cap, the crown piece, which you'll see in a minute, the elbow, the piece of CPVC pipe, and the CPVC cap. This is the actual applicator tip. It's from a bingo marker. This is the crown piece. This simply allows you to attach the cap to the apparatus. And this is simply an elbow, and it's a 1/2 inch elbow, and this is important because the bingo marker tip fits into that elbow, and that's what makes this whole system work. The first thing we're going to do is actually make the crown piece, and it is made out of a piece of CPVC pipe that is 7/8 of an inch long. And we simply cut this with a hacksaw. The next step is to cut a couple slits in here, and these slits then will allow you to use a little screwdriver to pop the bingo tip out, because that's how you actually fill the applicator, is by popping the tip out. You can just use a needle nose pliers to pop out the little pieces. The 1 inch CPVC is a little bit larger than the piece of fitting that you're putting it on, but we'll put a lot of glue in here, and that will be sufficient to hold it in place. So we'll set this aside to let it set up. We're going to put together the applicator that fits on the handles of a lopper. As you can see, it's laid out here. This is the piece that we just put the crown on, the elbow, the piece of CPVC pipe, and the CPVC cap. And now at this point it's just simply a matter of gluing it together with the CPVC cement. And that's the applicator. We're going to let this dry a few minutes before we actually put in the tip. It's important to adjust the height of the crown piece so that these pieces don't interfere with the actual tip. This particular crown needs to have about a 1/16 to an 1/8 of an inch cut off of it to allow the tip to work freely. To fill the applicator, you simply pop the tip out with a little screwdriver. And then you simply add herbicide through the tip, through the opening. So we're going to adjust this crown by cutting just a little bit off. And now the tip easily clears but it's still somewhat protected while it's sitting in the fitting. And of course it still allows you to place the cap on. It's important not to jam the cap down, because if you jam the cap all the way on, you can actually activate the springed tip and will allow the herbicide to leak out. This is one of the tips with the cover removed, and this is the spring mechanism that opens up when you press on the tip and allows the herbicide to come out. The only part of the Lop and Dop that you can't buy at a hardware store or building supply store is the actual applicator tip. The applicator tip is simply made from a bingo marker tip, and you can pick up old bingo markers from a bingo hall that's empty and people are throwing away, and you can simply pull the tip off of it and use it. Or you can purchase bingo tips from bingo supply companies, and you can find these on the internet. The first step to make the tip, turns out that the foam covering on the tips don't hold up when you're applying the herbicide to the cut stems of woody plants. So we cover that tip with a square of fleece material. And this process is pretty simple. You just cut a square or a circle that's roughly 1.5 inches in diameter. Use super glue and you place it around the outside edge of the plastic tip. And then fold the material down over the tip. After the glue dries, then you simply come along with little scissors and you can trim off the excess material. And now you have a tip that'll usually hold up for several hundred and sometimes as many as 1,000 individual stem applications. So in the field I always carry some extra tips in case that cloth material comes off.